Those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Hi, this is Faith. Welcome to the Faith Washington Show. We will discuss life, business, leadership, family, and fun, and what happens when your view of the world expands. A wide variety of guests will provide insight on how they do business, family, and leadership in their lives. So now, here's today's show. Oh, I love that. Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Faith Washington Show. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, FM 95.3 and 1470 AM, as well as the iHeartRadio app on WNN. Guess my mic isn't close enough. Is that better, Ken? Okay. Dawn, is your mic close enough?
I guess we'll find out. Yes, we're testing.
Awesome. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Anyway, folks, thank you so much. I want to introduce my special guest tonight, who is a wonderful friend of mine and just a brilliant entrepreneur. This is Dawn Graubert.
Good.
And thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. Such a treat to sit on the other side of the table.
Exactly. She and Freddie Santori actually do the Brooklyn Cafe every single day from 1 to 2 p.m. And they have a brilliant show that actually speaks to many, many different types of entrepreneurs, businesses, different types of nonprofit organizations, and they bring to light the things that we really care about in our communities. And I'm just so thrilled that you would take the time out of your really busy schedule and come on my show.
Like you asked me yesterday, am I going to be here to talk? And I said, yeah, I'll be here to talk. And you said, send me a headshot. And I thought we were just talking, but we're talking here.
No.
So we may as well talk here and let everyone have some fun in our conversation.
Yes, exactly. And that's really what we're here for on this show anyway, is not just to interview high-level entrepreneurs, which Dawn is to the nth degree, but also to kind of talk about the things that are important to increase the awareness of our community about being loving and kind and what that really brings to our planet. Now, I had the privilege of spending all day Friday and part of Saturday with a world-renowned scientist, and his name is Dr. Carlos Orozco. And Dr. Carlos Orozco is not only he's got every letter after his name that you could possibly imagine. I thought mine was pretty illustrious, but forget it. He's got everything.
I'm thinking if you take all this letter and do like a letter jumble, we could get a great acronym because seriously.
Yes, we could.
Amazing. Well,
Yes.
he was on your show Thursday night, right?
Yeah, and
Last
he was on Thursday, and he was also on the Brooklyn Cafe
We
for
did
an
too.
hour.
Encore, yes.
So we did a recorded segment for the Brooklyn Cafe, and then my show as well. And we couldn't even cover a small portion of what this man is able to deliver, and I'm so excited about it. He's talking about the Vitalizer app, which is what Dawn and I are going to kind of bounce off tonight. Not going to be the full focus, but it's really important because the Vitalizer app is something that you can put on your phone, which I have done, to create a morphic field. And this particular field, okay, and I'm not sure if you can see this. I don't know what you can see on the screen.
You can find it in your
Yes.
Apple, your Android store at it's vitalizerapp.com.
Right.
And you can download the app. And the premise behind it is what's so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And when Dr. Orozco explains it, because John Wellman is amazing.
Yes.
And he's kind and he's giving and he's so high energy and he shows you how it works.
Right.
But then you hear the science.
The science behind
and
it.
more than science, how he ties it into scripture and faith.
Yes.
Which is mind-blowing when you put it all together, that all of this comes together in energy, and the energy and light and sound comes through your phone. So when you talk about how things evolve, it evolves from where it started, from the beginning,
Right.
and now it takes us to technology.
Right, which is really something that if we really focus our thoughts and we take control of our thoughts, Our thoughts don't need to control us. And in my business as a life and business coach, what I deal with on a regular basis is the limitations that people put on themselves because they're either living in the past or they're looking towards the future and they're not paying attention to where they're at right in this very singular moment. And that's something that Dawn and I have spoken with at length.
And it's not just now that it's Thursday night and we're sitting here. It's now at this precise minute at 7:35 of what we're doing, not 7:34.
And now, in every single moment, you are present. And when you stay in that present moment, then you allow your mind, your body, and your spirit to sync with the divine, which is, however you'd like to call it, God, source, etc. I like to call it God. That's my preference, but that's how it was brought up, and really what I've learned to acknowledge. And every single person is different. However, when we do that, then it actually allows us to expand our thinking, because we're thinking not just about ourselves, but we're thinking about other people. How do we affect the environment that we're placed in? How do we affect other people around us? How do I affect my friend? If I'm being negative, in other words, I'm having negative thinking and I don't have control of it, it's just running every 16 to 17 seconds on and on and on and on and on, then it builds up what's known as momentum.
Let me ask you this, and I don't mean to sound like devil's advocate, but do you think some people even think that they're affecting others? I don't want to say care because that's not nice, but I'd like to say care.
No, because they're
it's
not
about
aware.
Them. Right.
They're not. This is the situation, is that if you are not aware that your thoughts are creating your reality, how could you possibly be aware that your thoughts are affecting anyone else? Oftentimes people are not aware of that. And when there is no awareness, there's no ability to shift and change that.
And it's the degree. We always hear your thoughts become things, and you can manifest, and everyone manifests. And there's reverse engineering, and it's a big trend now because everyone's empowered and manifesting.
Are they?
But you can manifest the negative, and that's what I tell my kids all the time. Those negative thoughts, even though you're asking for greatness, if you're stuck in the negativity, that is what you're going to bring. And that takes us back to what you were explaining to me the other day.
Right. And this is something that Dawn and I spoke about, and it is literally what Dr. Carlos brought to the table when I was privileged enough to sit down with him all day on Friday this last week, as well as on Saturday, part of Saturday, and he was able to bring this to light. And the truth of the matter is that we create our own reality by what we're thinking at all times. And like I said, I'm not sure that you can see. Yeah, you can see some of it.
You can see it, yeah.
Here we go. Okay, so you can see some of this. So what happens is that at various times, you create what's known as a vortex. And this vortex of thought and feeling and whatever it is that you're putting into it, all right, is a linear thing. In other words, it is going from point A to point B.
That's what you said. You think the fastest way to get from point A to point B is
a line.
But in reality, it's not.
Right. Because it's not just a line. Okay, in other words, here we go. Point A to point B. All right, you guys see the pen? You see my fingers?
And then we go.
Here's the scoop. Take that out. Boom. 1 point, 1 place in time. There's your reality.
Well, let me ask you this. He was on the cafe with you, and he had those cones.
Yes.
And that, in fact, looks just like this. When you have the intention point at the top,
right,
and it's all the energy in that cone,
right,
is what we're dealing with. There you go.
And that
it's like a
cone,
coil. It's really interesting.
It's like a coil, exactly. But here's the real deal, is that with that quote-unquote vortex, or coil as you called it, there is a beginning point. And the beginning point, okay, is here at the very bottom. And that beginning point is what we call the 0 point. It is when the synodal waves in physics, all right, absolutely correspond with every other point. And what happens is you've got a 0 point. And that 0 point is your point of creation. It is your maximum point of impact. It's what you think, it's what you feel, and it's all together. So if you're feeling really crappy and you're feeling angry and you're feeling negative, that's what you're putting out. And wait, it gets better yet. It's like the Ginsu knife, it keeps giving back.
Getting better.
And on this sheet, it shows, and like I said, I think it's really a little difficult to see, but you'll see that what's happening is you're getting twice as much or 4 times as much back at you in this vortex. So you send this vortex outward, and it's not just going in a straight line. What's happening is you're creating a vibration, and that vibration is spinning. Our Earth is spinning 30,000 feet per second. So when you're here, Dawn and I are here right now, in the next second, where are we at? 30,000 feet from where we were 1 second ago.
Well, we have the point, and a point is we take away all of Faith's biochemistry degrees and her pharmacy degrees, and
which mean nothing.
She has as many letters as Dr. Carlos does, and we bring it down to where I am, and we go, the starting point is intention, and this is your thought.
Yes.
And this is the 0 point, is that intention, that thought, whether it be negative or positive, is your 0 point.
Right.
And you tell me what? No more than 16 seconds on a negative thought.
16 seconds. Do not think for more than 16 seconds. Otherwise, what occurs is what's known as momentum. We don't want momentum of negative thought taking us down the rabbit hole.
Oh my gosh, right? And it happens so easily.
And it happens so quickly and so easily because we're not mindful. You hear about mindfulness training. Listen, it's not just about being mindful. It's about being really clear. What do you want to create? Who are you? What do you choose? If you choose positivity, you choose love, you choose to share with people, you choose to be in an amazing space, then you know something? Your vortex is going to come back to you in such a beautiful way that other people will be affected positively.
But I love what you said about you need to be clear. And I was having this conversation the other day is we manifest and we all have good intentions. However, you all do what you do, source or God, whatever you believe in. You need to be so super clear and specific. Otherwise, that source or God gives you what they interpret you want. I want greatness. Well, greatness could be what? You have a fabulous sandwich. Or it could be, you win $1 million.
Exactly.
But what does it mean to you? It's that clarity. It's that specific that you need to be
person.
Because everyone's perception is different, including that of Source.
Exactly. And Source knows, God knows what it is that you need, what you want, what you choose. And if you're not specific or you're not clear on what it is that you would love to have, this is why there's so much confusion. This is why people don't receive what it is that they ask for. You know what? In the Bible, okay, because I love the Word of God. 17 years of studying it. I love the Word of God. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. And when we ask specifically, the only way you're going to receive that specific ask is if you raise yourself to the level of what it is you're asking for. If you are asking for love, you're asking for a relationship, what are you willing to bring to the table?
But then we spoke about no fear.
Oh, yes.
And when you ask and you are grateful for where you are and that energy is spinning and you are sending out those positive vibrations in faith, the universe is yours. But when you send it out with fear and you go down that rabbit hole, what happens with all these vibrations?
Yes, those vibrations are coming back to you in a negative way. In other words, they're coming back to you very powerfully, but they're coming back in such a way. Some people call this karma. Sorry, folks, I don't believe in karma. I believe that if you're not living in the now, you're going to re-experience the past. Stay focused in the now. Stay focused in who you are being right now. If you don't like who you're being, or the results that you're achieving are not what you'd like to be, change it now.
We talked even about the story that we all tell ourselves, and it's the self-love. I'm not worthy of self-love.
Right.
And those stories perpetuate until you have the faith and you shift, as you call it, your paradigm.
It's
right?
It's all about the paradigm shift. You got to do it or you don't. It's up to you. It's a choice. You always get to choose. That is why we have free will.
And it's not the, oh, woe was me, I have a black cloud. You can shift those thoughts, but if you stay there and you stub your toe and then you fall down and then you had a really bad day and something else happens, that negative momentum will continue to be negative.
Exactly. And the whole idea is, wow, you notice that you've got a negative momentum going, and you pull out of it. Well, you can pull out of it. That's the gift. The gift of free will is the gift to shift from, wow, life is happening to me, to I'm a co-creator. I'm a co-creator with God. He's allowed me that. He's allowed me that gift.
How does this tie into the Vitalizer, though?
The Vitalizer app is an application that you put on your phone, and you literally are able to change your own energy, water energy, coffee energy, water, wine, any spirits, anything that you place into your body. Our bodies are actually 99.9% water. Oh, can I repeat that? 99.9% water. I used to think it was 75 to 80%. Incorrect. When you really stop and think about the breakdown, every single cell in the body has cytoplasm. It has your DNA, your RNA. Every single functional portion of the cell is made of liquid. All right, so water breaks down into actually 4 different types of cellular being. You've got liquid, solid, steam, and plasma. Plasma. Ooh, that's this. That's this. That's your skin and your blood and your plasma. It's 4 different types. It can't just exist in 3. So if you've got 4 different types and we're dealing with that, then 99.9% water means you better be paying attention to the liquid that you put in, the foods that you take in, how you view yourself, how your brain views everything else, the thoughts that you have, the thoughts that you project, because all of those things are coming back to you. It's literally what Carlos explained on Saturday was multiple sets of mathematical equations, and Dr. Carlos Orozco is a Bachelor of Science, a Master's of Science, a naturopathic doctor. Wait, he started out as an MD, a PhD. He's done everything under the sun. This man is absolutely brilliant, and the research that he brings to the table with the Vitalizer app is irrefutable.
But what fascinates me is that he's so scientific and so science-based. I don't understand how one human being can have that amount of knowledge in his head, but yet he brings it all back to love.
It's all about love.
And that is the amazing, I get the chills. That's the amazing thing is you take all of this science and all these degrees and the 99% water and everything you showed me, all the formulas, the Krebs cycle and everything else,
yes.
Einstein's theory of relativity, but then it all comes back to love and intention.
It comes
and that's
back
what's
to
fascinating.
It comes back to the God source. It comes back to where do we come from? Why are we here? Why are we here? We're here to share what we've been gifted and talented with other beings, with other human beings. We're on this planet to share that love. And if we're not sharing that love, what are we doing? Then we're garnering hatred towards us. We don't want to do that. We want to give of ourselves freely because that's what we're designed to do. We're literally designed to love one another. People seek acceptance, they seek love, they seek belonging, they seek everything under the sun. Sometimes they go through different types of addictions. They're addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, anything under the sun that makes them feel good. But feeling good is a state of mind. Feeling good is about understanding what it is that you really love and what you need.
And it's your self-love. And
That's
we
right.
continue that conversation
And
today.
it comes from in here and it focuses outward.
You have to love yourself, and we say it on the cafe all the time.
All the
I can tell you,
time.
we can have any guest and any sponsor on, and somehow it always comes back that you have to love yourself. And if you don't, you can't love another until you love yourself. And then it manifests all these crazy things in illness.
Mm-hmm.
And you can physically, those thoughts you have, all that negativity, worry, ulcers,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you firsthand, I've been having this for 5 weeks. And when it comes with a vengeance, and you know what it is, but it's that stopping process. And the Vitalizer can help that.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm doing an infomercial.
No, but you are, because you and I both have experienced the app. And it's funny because Dawn and I joke about, you're the app. No, you're the app. We're both the app.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
you remember the first time we
The
did
first
it? I
time we
texted
did
you
it.
and I went, oh my
We're
gosh.
the app.
We're the app. And no matter what we said, the next day it happened. And with such clarity. We were texting each other
Exactly.
saying, we are the app.
We are the app.
And that's the intention, and I suppose the energy, the light, and the sound frequency that comes with it.
Right. And that is when you are completely in sync with God, with the source. When you are lined up within yourself, you're loving others, and you are in a place where you're unstoppable. And I love that because I like to comment on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. I love it when people understand that you're aligned with that energy. And when you are, it feels so good. It is completely and totally
It's
amazing.
those pinch me moments. Is this
Yeah.
real? It's those moments. Like when you went on the jet.
Oh my gosh,
Right?
going on a Learjet 35. Really? Jump on the jet and you're going hundreds of miles an hour and you're going to a place and you think, wow, how does it get any better than this? And in that moment, it doesn't. But you're so focused on that moment and the joy within you that you just want to share it with other people. And that's part of that equation of what comes back to you. What are you giving out?
Remember you got a phone call a couple months ago, and you went, oh no, this is not going to be good. And I said to you in that split second, don't think that way because it could be a great phone call.
Right.
And you said, you're right. And you went and you took and you came back and you said, how did you know? It was the most phenomenal, amazing phone call. And you could have gone down that rabbit hole from the door to our studio outside, and you didn't.
But I didn't.
And it ended up being an amazing phone call.
Exactly. The reminder, nothing more than a reminder from somebody who loves you and cares about you beyond what you know. Friendship, family, people who are connected to you that get you. And that's
scary.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
If
we
you
are.
get us, forget it.
We are. But that is part of that connectedness that we all share. We just have to tune in. All you have to do is tune in and turn on and be aware of the fact that you create your own reality. If you're experiencing negative and you're unhappy and you're miserable and every day is a drudge and you wake up and you're just absolutely, whoa, I just can't take this anymore. There's nobody to blame but you.
But things do happen
It's your
in life.
thoughts. And wait, and they do happen. And they happen why? Because we've built up a whole lineage of things that are negative that are going on in our lives that we're recreating. We're creating that.
Well, let me ask you this. We say we live in the now.
Yes.
We don't pay attention to the past.
Nope.
But we are a product of our past. And those who have
To
had...
the extent that we fully engage in it. If you don't engage in it, not so much.
You can rewrite that past.
You bet. You bet you can.
Rewrite your story to where you are now.
Rewrite it right now. Your DNA and everything that you live is tied into your intention and your thoughts. And that's proven in this model that Dr. Carlos Orozco is shown us on Friday and half of Saturday. John Wellman, thank you so much, man, for inviting me. I appreciate that. John is the partner with Vince Gravina in the Vitalizer app, but utilizing the components of our DNA, the guanine and cytosine, which are complement amino acids, and the adenine and the thymine, which create the DNA, RNA, mRNA, which replicates our cells. All these things tie together, and then creating on our phones a quantum field. So quantum physics and quantum mechanics come together. All right, I don't know if you can see this. You probably can't. But I have dots. I have dots along my phone that actually create the quantum field. So my phone can't be hacked. It can't be interfered with. And it's pretty amazing. All these components come together to allow us to do things that we wouldn't normally be able to do. And the Vitalizer app does nothing but add to that. It can clarify water. It clarifies your morphic field. In other words, you walk around, folks, with a field. You're a vector. In other words, you're spinning. Oh, thank you. Okay, well, we've only got 2 minutes. All right, we really need 3 hours to discuss all this, but Dawn, we don't have 3 hours.
I know.
I'm sad. I'm like so sad. Anyway, we're a morphic field. In other words, your whole body is surrounded by a field of energy. You are an energetic being. Whether you own it, like it, dislike it, or not, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. God, the source, created you to be an energetic field. And when we own this and we own our thoughts and we are careful of what goes out from us and returns to us, that even includes, you know what? You're negative. I'm so sorry. You got to go.
I wanted to talk about that because when you can clear those negative people out of your lives, they call them toxic relationships.
Correct.
And you can clear that and you can stay in that focused space of positivity and you watch the amazing things happen in life. How do people find the app?
Oh, we're going to go to either the iPhone store or even
Apple Store, Android
the
Store.
Apple Store, Android Store, and you're going to look for the Vitalizer app. Download the app. Use it on your phone, use it on your body, use it on wine, coffee, water, anything that it goes inside your body, including food. Use the water app if you're going to do it with food. But I want to tell you, Dawn, thank you so much. We so know that it works. But you know what? You're an amazing entrepreneur. You and Freddie have done amazing things in this community, and I'm so proud of you and so grateful to be just a small part of it. And I will have you back. We're going to discuss more about all of this.
But it's all about self-love.
Yeah.
If we can take one point away from this,
absolutely,
it's positive intention and self-love. And I always say, be kind to each other.
Absolutely. Be kind. Be loving. Thanks so much for joining us here on The Faith Washington Show. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM, and the iHeartRadio app, WNN.
Bye-bye.
See you next week. You've been listening and watching The Faith Washington Show, where we have widened your view of the world. Our guests share their business, family, and fun life hacks to make your world better. Hope you've learned something to apply to your life and business.
The opinions expressed